Last year I made the Tresness Summer Tee, for which there is a pattern, and I'll put the link in the description. Oh, I've got a tickly nose, just bear with me a second. That's good. But before I made the top, I actually made a pair of shorts using the 4-ply cotton held double. What I also did was, instead of an elastic casing, I did a couple of little eyelet there on either side of the front seam and made a tie for it. I prefer elastic, I have to say, but this was okay. It was a prototype. Fits nicely, and actually I find it very comfortable on. So what I'm going to do this year, and I sort of half promised it earlier on in the year, is to make a pattern. Well, I've already done the basis of a pattern, but what I'd like to see from it is, that's the shorts version, but I'd love to see a pair of joggers, you know, a long pair of pants basically. And when I say joggers, you know, just a nice flared bottom. Again, probably with the cordage or with elastic. So as I say, I've done the basic pattern. I use the 1950s pattern for pants initially. When I say pants, I mean knickers. In the 50s we used to knit them, and the 40s I think. So what I decided to do initially was try that out, but since we've done a couple of patterns now, I have put together a little simple way of measuring yourself and creating your own fitted pair of trousers. Now that is, if you're like me, I can never find a pair of trousers that are going to fit me. So if you want to make a pair of shorts or a pair of trousers, this is the pattern. When it comes to leggings, well, I think it's a possibility that you can go down a couple of sizes than your normal size for a bit more of a stretch, yeah. But that one, I think I need to trial out myself. But I'm going to start knitting a pair of trousers using my pattern, but obviously not shorts, length, because I've got short legs. So if we talk about something like inside leg of about, is it 27 inches, something like that, if that. So I've got short legs, big bottom, so I've got to accommodate all of that. So that's going to be in my new pattern, and obviously I would love it if anybody's interested in test knitting it, because this would be ideal to go with the Tresness Summer Tee. And also, if you're making the trousers, the EV sweater, the EV circular sweater, circular neck sweater, would be great as a top for t-shirt, crop t-shirt, that sort of thing. So yeah, so if you want to join in, please put your name in the comments. Actually, scrub that. I'm going to put it up on Ravelry again, and you can go in there and join the group for the test knit. So that'll be in due course. So give me a week and I will hopefully come back and tell you it's time. So here we go. This is mine in my size. Now what I've done is in different sizes you will get different rows or repeats of a certain pattern to fit into the length of the yoke. Now it's very important, and this is very important, that you make sure that you measure from here to your chest line as to how long you want your yoke. Because all of us are different. So if, for instance, you have a shorter yoke line, then you won't need as many pattern repeats. So I think that is taken into account in the pattern. The bigger your yoke drop is, the more pattern work you'll have in your particular top. So down the bottom we have 2 lace patterns, and we also have the lace hem edging. So the lace hem edging matches in with body lace pattern 2, as you can see. So you must follow the pattern as it's written, and place your markers where it's written in the pattern. And then what I've also done is I've given you a little link to a private video on YouTube where you have a little tutorial on how to knit the lace edging. Now it looks complicated, doesn't it? But you will be so surprised at how easy it is. You have a selection of sleeves in that pattern. I've done a short sleeve, but you can do a long sleeve, a long plain sleeve, or a long lace sleeve, which incorporates some of this pattern here, this little lace pattern here. So there are options. There are also other options for shaping. This is the cropped version. You see, it's a cropped version. So there's no shaping in this at all. But if you wanted to do a longer version, then you can do waist shaping, which gives you a few more inches. And also, what I have done is a little optional extra, is put in some short row shaping round about here, underneath the waist shaping, into the back of the hollow of your back, basically. So yeah, now when I was asked about this one, I have used this before, this positioning of short rows, to help raise the back of a top. But with this one, I don't really think you need that, because it's a boat neck width, isn't it? So that's entirely up to you whether you want to use the shaping, the short row shaping or not. The other thing as well is, I have done a box in the at the beginning, section A, which gives you all the sizes. And what I've also done is incorporated the number of stitches you will need for each measurement, or rows that you will need to achieve the back length, for instance, etc., etc. This, because I'm quite a loose knitter, particularly around the lace, I suppose, I use a smaller needle. Now, again, the needle that's used on this particular one is a 4.5mm needle, US 7, I think. And so therefore, if you decide to go down a needle size because you're a loose knitter, my size, for instance, for a 44-inch chest, if I go down another needle size to say 4mm needles, I'm going to have to increase the number of stitches I require, or else I'll lose 8 inches around my chest. So it's a very important thing to remember. Make sure that you actually test your tension first. This is a fitted top. It doesn't have any positive ease at all. It's not negative ease. I would just say this is 0%. 0% to 5%, something like that. So just be careful. Make sure that you test your tension beforehand and that it matches with what's on the pattern. Otherwise, it'll just be too big and it won't look as nice. It's meant to be a fitted t-shirt. Fitted to the chest, that's basically it. Make sure your chest measurement corresponds with the pattern. If your chest is slightly smaller than the actual pattern requires, then perhaps I would maybe go to the next size, but you could probably go down a bit, if you know what I mean, as well. Again, it's all down to your tension. So make sure you swatch beforehand on this one. I don't normally swatch myself because I kind of know what my tension's going to be. But when you're doing a new pattern like this, I think it's something you need to do, particularly if it's fitted. What else can I tell you about this top? This was made using 2 strands of fingering weight to make a double knit. I did add a little 1-ply merino to it because I wanted it to be a bit more yellow, and the merino was a fluorescent yellow, so I think that's made a good job of that. I had 1 strand of yellow and 1 strand of pink in cotton, which I had left from last year. I had some cones from Woolly Knits, 100% 4-ply cotton. Memory's terrible. And I therefore knit those 2 together, 1 in lemon and 1 in pink, which I think is quite nice. I love marling. I love putting together colours. And like I said, I added a 1-ply merino in a fluorescent yellow, which gave it more of a yellowy look to it, because that's what I wanted. Yeah. So I look forward to seeing you then, and keep knitting. Bye now.